We're going to turn to Cuba. It's in the midst of a severe fuel shortage driven by a U.S. oil blockade, and it's led to widespread blackouts right across the country and a shortage of desperately needed supplies. Now, activists around the world are stepping up to provide those supplies. Aid groups in Mexico loading boats full of food, medicine, and personal hygiene items, all bound for Cuba, part of an international convoy trying to deliver goods. The UN now warning Cuba could be facing a total humanitarian collapse if the situation doesn't improve soon. Now, I'm glad to say CBC News now has a team in Cuba. Our Jorge Barrera is in Havana. Jorge, good to see you there. What is the situation like in the capital?
Well, we were in the tourist heart of Havana, you know, near the Floridita hotel or bar that Ernest Hemingway used to frequent, and it is empty, devoid of tourists. The old classic 1950s American cars are sitting parked with their drivers, waiting for fares that never come. You know, the big hotels around the area sitting empty, restaurants empty. You walk down streets, look down alleyways, garbage piling up. Because of the gas shortage, garbage trucks aren't moving the garbage away, but people are still trying to live their lives. They're lining up at the banks. Right now, when we were on my way here, people were lining up outside a bank waiting for it to open. People are going to work, going shopping, kids playing soccer in the park. You know, people are making do with what they can right now. But given what they face, they say the last 60 years that they've lived through this is one of the worst moments that they have encountered. But they say they have no choice but to continue to tough it out. David?
Jorge, people there have gone many days without electricity and running water and fuel. This is obviously leading to struggle. What have they been telling you?
Well, I spent some time with a family in a neighborhood in the northern part of Havana, and they say, you know, we have molded our lives around, you know, the flow of and the shortages of electricity. You know, we prepare our meals for the moment that electricity actually comes on, so we can cook quickly. They say they only buy perishables for the day that they're going to use, because they can't store things in the fridge because with electricity gone, things will spoil. They're also gathering water in, you know, multiple tugs and jugs and tanks, because when the power goes out, so does the water. But the biggest thing that they speak about is the price of food that has completely skyrocketed. I was told that, you know, a pound of chicken went from about 18 Cuban pesos to about 300 Cuban pesos. They say there is food, but it is the prices are getting unattainable. Parents are going hungry so they can feed their children. And this is all related to the oil embargo and the increased price of transportation. And this has also created a thriving black market in gasoline resales, where gas used to go for about $1.31 US a liter. Now it's going for $10 a liter on the black market now, and that has created a lot of frustrations. You know, there's been protests, there's this cacerolas at night where people bang their pots, but people told us that the need to survive day to day far outweighs the desire to go out and protest against the government. David?
It's all quite something. Jorge, very glad to have you there. Thank you.